So in the snippet, I found out that Apple could actually port iMessage over to Android phones, but their top executives said they didn't want to make that move because that will hurt Apple more than help them. But I'm not surprised because I know there's a lot of apps and software that Apple could easily port over to Android and even Microsoft if they really wanted to, because they're currently running the new Intel chips that's running on Windows. And a lot of the software that they make, the apps, they can actually port them over to other devices, but they don't want to do that because they're trying to keep everybody that they have in the Apple ecosystem. And because those apps are actually free and there's no charge for them, then there's nobody paying for them. So they don't see any benefit for them as far as using the apps. Only thing they're going to gain is user base. They're not making any money off it. With the iMessage being on the iPhone, then people would have to purchase the iPhone in order to use that app. Therefore, that's how they increase their revenues. But making the app freely available on the Android phone, then people are just going to buy more Android phone, which Apple will not make any money off. Now, there's a lot of their software that they make that I think they could make money off if they just port it over to Windows, like Final Cut, for instance, because Final Cut currently runs on an Intel iMac. And Windows are running Intel chips also. So there's no issue that I think that will be so hard to port it over to a Windows machine. And even the top executive like Eddie Q know that they can actually port that iMessage app over to the Android phone. But like I said, Apple don't want to do that because they're just going to increase the Android phones user base, and that's not going to help them in any way possible. Not unless they sell the app to Android users. So say they put a price tag of $1.99 or even $2.99, then yes, they might gain some revenue from it, but just porting over the app for free, they're not getting anything out of it because nobody is buying the Apple phone anymore to just use iMessage, and the Android phone sales are not going to go to Apple, only the iPhone sales. But that's not surprising because a lot of companies have these proprietary stuff that they have on their platforms that they don't want to port over to another platform because they want you to come over and use their devices and actually buy their software. So that's the reason why you don't see a lot of software on one end versus the other. But I'm not surprised when I saw the news that Apple could actually port over iMessage to the Android phone. And then they decide not to because they didn't want to increase the user base of the Android phone versus people buying the iPhone.